Sweet, got the Xbox sorted now. Should be good. Should be good.
Right, so going back to that recording with Alistair, as I said to you,
Oh yeah.
I don't think he can handle you when you're in your states that you are sometimes, and he should not have made you wait outside like that at the end of the day. If you're having an episode, he needs to
For
be
the
there.
ambulance.
Yeah, like, he needs to be there.
What did you think from his reaction when he was...
His reaction?
Yeah.
Well, he's overreacted most of the part of this whole recording because he's trying like to be quite controlling, as I can hear in his voice, and then like with also in his voice he doesn't understand the whole mental health side of things, because if someone did and someone's having an episode...
You used to be a psychiatric nurse, didn't you?
Yeah. So for me, I've worked with people with mental health issues for on and off for 5 years, right? I have seen some things in my line of care, I have witnessed some things in my line of care, and I tell you what, from what I've seen in work and what I've seen of you, I can handle you because you're not like the people at work, you're completely different, right? With Alistair, I don't think he understands you, because like if you're having an episode, he should not be making you wait outside for an ambulance by yourself, given the nature of the situation with these voices in your head and whatever else going on. He should be there supporting you, trying to calm you down, make you feel reassured, like anybody like decent would do. They wouldn't, like, if someone did that to me, telling me to go back outside, I'd be like, you fucking what? Like, I'd be like, nah, you're meant to be calming me down and like trying to make me feel better.
This was after yeah, it was quite a turn of events.
Like
it was just in my mind state. It was like he's telling me to go outside. Something's going down.
You're fearing for your life.
Yeah. It was just. It seemed like, okay, I'll go upstairs, tell him I'm packing my bags. There's an ambulance going to be here soon. Get my bags sorted. Go upstairs. I look out the window, and I remember this Malcolm X thing where apparently he was on the run, and some guy was pointing a gun, and he made it look like he had a gun pointed. He put like something under his jacket. So then I think he was in the car at the time. This was in his autobiography.
Right. So have you read this?
So
or
I got the idea. I was like, okay, my phone memory's full. Get a picture. So I'm holding my phone up. I'm on the second floor looking down. He pulls up, dodgy because he doesn't turn his engine off. He literally just pulls up outside the pub, looking there, and he's looking scatty, like he's shaking. He doesn't look like, why someone just pulled up. He's not waiting for a lift. No one got in his car. He just pulled up in perfect view of the benches outside. So there's me with my phone. He had a look, and then he was there for about a minute and then drove off. Window open. The window was open.
Right.
And then the ambulance arrived. So you know what was...
Right.
Was that something he orchestrated?
I can't say he orchestrated that because
do you know what I mean?
didn't
Do you think
see
that's
it.
just...
I don't know, because I wasn't there and I can't speak because I wasn't there. If I was there, I'd be
But
able to speak.
from his reaction...
From his reaction...
This was why I recorded him. This is my paranoia.
He has been calm within those recordings, but also within those recordings you can listen to his voice, and listening to someone's voice can tell you a lot with the way they speak, right? Take it from when we've had our conversations on that note, right? But the way he is treating you and the way he is talking to you, there is almost a certain degree of control there, but also he doesn't understand how to handle your episodes, shall we say.
Yeah.
And this is the point, like, if he wants what's best for you, he would understand why you're doing what you're doing and stop pushing you, because the more he's going to push you, the more it's going to piss you off and the more it's going to make you rebel. Yeah. It's the same principle as anyone. Like, you do that, you do the same to me, I'm going to rebel. It's anybody does that. It's just a natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Alistair doesn't really understand that from what I've heard. I have a very good insight into mental health. As I said, I've been doing it on and off for 5 years. Right. I know what I've worked with and I know what I've seen with you.
And kids in care as well.
Exactly. So, like, you know, and I was a kid in care myself too. So I've been through the system. I know how it works. But the whole point of this is, like, Alistair needs to understand what's fact and what's not, and like for that he needs to be able to understand you. Clearly he thinks he has an understanding of you, but he actually clearly does not, because you show him what you want to show him, but he thinks he can see more, and he thinks actually no, you're just showing him what you want to show him. Like, if I need to put on the front, I'm very good on putting a front on, like, if I need to cover my emotions. Like, if I had to go to work and I was pissed off, I'd have to put on the front and act if, like, everything was okay, right? If I had to go to work. When something happened, like, take it with my mum. I was working when all the shit happened, and I got a call when I was at work, mate, and, like, I still worked that day.
Yeah.
And then I just went home and I just basically I melted down massively.
Had a meltdown.
But then I went back to work for the whole December to try and keep myself occupied, because I couldn't have time not doing anything. And, like, the whole Christmas I worked. I had 2 days off over the Christmas period that month.
Less about work, more about.
But just saying,
Alistair.
yeah. So getting off of that subject, but as I was saying to that, he needs to have an understanding of you. He doesn't have an understanding of you.
Yeah, no, it's just the point.
He thinks he sees what he sees in you, but actually you show him what you want to show him, and, like, maybe you should show him the full thing to see, just to show him so he is aware.
Squared up to him and said, "Did you
I don't
hit
mean-
on me?"
Right.
He said to me,
What was his
my
reaction to
reply
that?
was Alex, and then his reply was, "Who the fuck is Alex?" This being like, "Did you hire a hit on me?" This is the phone call that I had with you after. You remember that phone call, right?
Yeah.
He goes, "Who the fuck is Alex?" Stupidly, as I was recording, at the coffee shop,
Mhm.
it paused, and I didn't get it recorded. He said Alex. We talked about Alex, about how he used to live in London and how he's moved to pursue his career in hairdressing, and now he's a barman. And the figure that I saw in my room, 6 foot. I even asked him about his height, 6 feet, slim build, all white, medicine mask. Do you know what I mean? And then after shouting, "Alistair, you!"
Yeah.
Thinking those were going to be like the last seconds of my life, he opens the door and turns on the light. Obviously, because I've made a scene, and his neighbours, if they hear a gunshot at 4 a.m,
Yeah.
and it was all orchestrated with time. It was start of July the 4th, at 4 a.m, and the pub is next to a minster, a church. So the bells were going to go off at 4. And if he's, for some reason, this delusion in my head was telling me that it's related to this French geezer, and pretty much, if they were going to do it, they would have like 50 grand in cash. The hitman would get like 20. Alex is a parent, he's got a family, that's 20 grand, that's his life sorted. Everyone in the town, village, would get about £1,000, £2,000 to keep their mouth shut. And then there was some bait, just to kind of reinforce this point, like going to McCall's, Emily, who kind of fancied me, so Jason told me, I don't know if they were trying to like spy on me or something. This was some time ago. Went in there, had a lovely chat with her, gave her my number, and we were like, oh yeah, we could go down to the canal and maybe have a smoke, because she was telling me how her other half's in prison and stuff like that. And walked to the pub, he's having a cigarette outside, and he goes to me, "I've just spoken to Emily, you're doing drugs." It was like, what? I only said that just to make communication, just because, like with our generation, if you find like, oh, you smoke,
Do you want to go and have a joint?
do you want to have a joint?
Pretty reasonable thing.
Yeah, and it just showed like, if she's seen me in that village for like years. She knows my face, she knows my name, she knows everything, and those actions for someone my age, like I had. To be fair, like McCall's is closing down, and she needs a job. So I did bring that up when I was speaking to him. Then I was like, look, she's sleeping at a travel lodge. She needs a room. She needs a job. She wants me out of the equation. So that, do you know what I mean? There's 2 points. Is she getting paid off by him for her to turn around and be like, I'm gonna tell him? Or am I going to be a sly bitch and get him out of the equation so I can get a bar job and an accommodation sorted? It's one of the two. But anyway, that recording, just from his reactions, the crack bit was jokes. I probably should not have said that. I might have to cut that out. What else? Like, just
he
his
just needs to
demeanour,
treat you with his demeanour. Like, I'm telling you now, it's not a correct demeanour to how you treat someone with mental health issues. Like, you should not be pushy. You should give that person enough space and let that person come to you if they feel comfortable, like you did with me.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't push you to do that. You decided to do that because you thought you knew what was best, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you've gone on making your own decision. Now, Alistair needs to make his own decisions when it comes to this, but you also need to tell him he can't be as he has been with you. If you want any sort of relationship with this guy, then he's clearly got to build bridges with you, and clearly you've got to give some leeway to him.
Rebuilding a burning bridge.
Don't say rebuilding a burning bridge, you're rebuilding a burnt bridge.
No, because it's still.
Yeah, but it's
burning.
still burning consistently, but you're now putting negativity on it. So the way to look at it would be
It's fire, man. Fire resembles risk.
Yeah, fire does resemble risk, but the way to look at it, as I would look at it, yes, this bridge might still be burning, but it's better to fix a burnt bridge than a burning bridge.
With risk, you can put it in a fire.
You put too much energy.
Or it can be like a burning house.
You put too much energy into something when it is burning, so if you can rebuild it when it is burn out,